Hey everyone, we're here at GeoWeek 2026 in Denver. I'm here with Rob Dannenburg, the brand new CEO of Phoenix LiDAR. Congratulations, Rob.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Jeffrey. It's been an interesting ride, but looking forward to the future.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is your millionth trade show, I guess. You've been to this show for many years, and
been coming to here since it was called ILMF, and obviously GeoWeek's probably the most important geospatial trade show in North America. So pretty happy with it. Yeah.
So what's new for you guys these days? What's been going on in the last year?
So one of the biggest things is our partnership with Mosaic, obviously. Like, you guys become probably one of our most important partners, at least in the mobile space, and we see mobile as being the fastest growing market in the industry. Obviously, I just took over as the CEO, so there's a lot of new changes. We've released a few new products on pods and airborne systems, but I think probably one of the most important things is our partnership with you guys.
Mm-hmm. So you say mobile, terrestrial mobile mapping is growing fast. You think it's you think the aerial mapping industry has kind of matured and mobile mapping is now catching up, or how do you see this happening?
So, not the only growing one. I think the light and middleweight aircraft, Cessna and helicopter mapping is growing very rapidly.
Okay.
But the airborne market's pretty mature as a general state, and people doing countywide and statewide, that's a pretty known quantity right now. Mm-hmm. The problem is all those companies are like scaling, and they can't take the smaller projects anymore. So you see some lightweight aviation, but I really see mobile LiDAR is poised to actually move into more of a service provider network. Like, it's always been managed by the large engineering firms and the people actually doing the transportation engineering. Mm-hmm. And that we're starting to see a little bit of shift more into the traditional survey and service provider. I do see mobile as being one of the most important sectors for us moving into this year and next year.
Okay. Are there people doing mapping for different reasons now, or are there just more people doing it for the same reasons as before?
Oh, I think there's new reasons. I think asset management has kind of become more of a known quantity, and they realize mobile mapping is probably the most cost-effective way to collect that data, and manage it. I think some of the struggles still are the level of detail and the quantity of data that people are collecting and how to manage that detail. But you're seeing a lot of DOTs, a lot of counties, a lot of city governments actually bringing on mobile mapping directly. You're seeing a lot of new software providers that are out there that are providing specific use cases. But you've got the big mobile LiDAR providers that have been around for a long time that don't have the price point to be able to come down to the asset level and that kind of stuff. And I think as you're seeing quality of equipment increase and costs come down a little bit, that we're seeing a massive uptick in that scale. And with our systems, they're pretty versatile. So if you need to pull it off a mobile system and go fly something, you can do that. But working with you guys and your guys' camera has made the workflow significantly more streamlined than what's previously been out there. So I think it's a good thing.
Okay. And how do you see the role of LiDAR versus photography, or the combination of them, or doing only one or the other? How do you see this evolving over time?
I think that's a pretty tough question, to be honest, but I think the imagery side is becoming a lot more important than it used to be. Like, the imagery was almost a means to an end before, and now there's actually better quality workflows and better quality imagery. And I think if people can do standalone imagery workflows, there's a lot of applications that works for. Mm-hmm. There's some standalone LiDAR workflows, but combining them is the best of all worlds, right? If you can actually do the full 3D reconstruction and everything, have the colorization, all the different pieces, be able to do the asset management, and there's all the AI tools that are out there, and some of the tools are going to be better used by imagery than LiDAR. It's a little more mature, like AI market and everything. And I think ideally, if you have a system that can either be split apart to do one or the other, or do both when it comes together, that's going to be the distinct advantage. And that's honestly why we sought you guys out, worked with you guys, is because you guys have really the only standalone camera system that's out there. And for a lot of our users, when they only need imagery, rock on, use it, right? When they need to add LiDAR, it's a pretty seamless interface for them to add that and go for it. So,
is the LiDAR technology in general still evolving quickly, or is that plateauing?
I think it's settling a little bit. Like, there are some new LiDAR technology that's coming out and everything, but in reality, smaller increment, significantly smaller increments on like the quality of lasers and everything. But I think IMU and GNSS technology is evolving and coming down very dramatically. And as we're scaling and we're doing more and more and more of this, we're able to bring those price points down a little bit. I think the integrations are starting to evolve. Customers are now knowing what they need a little bit more, and that's becoming a better defined market. It used to be, hey, we've got a DOT project, they're going to re-engineer a highway, we need to go do the as-builts, do grading projects, and very tight accuracy, 400ths of a foot. And that's great for that application, but that's very niche and very tight control. And now you're getting the asset management that's a little bit lighter, weight on an accuracy requirement, but definitely a higher scale of what's going on.
So yeah, the LiDAR are evolving, but not so fast. But the IMU and GPS, which are sort of underappreciated part of this whole technology, are improving pretty quickly and becoming a lot more affordable.
Yes,
with really good results that used to cost quite a lot of money.
Absolutely, and they've come down dramatically in price for the same capabilities and that, and then just the integrations and software development and things actually working like tightly together as a fully integrated system and not like independent components that you're trying to piece together on the other end, has also made it more accessible to the end users, right? Mobile mapping has always been that you have a very specialty person collecting data in the field and very specialty people processing. And I don't want to minimize that at all. Like surveyors are super important in the industry, and that. But as that scaling and asset management, that more consistent workflow is super critical. And I think that's what you're going to see evolve. That's going to bring this to the mass market a little bit more.
So great. Anything exciting coming around the bend this year in terms of technologies? Anything you've seen here that surprised you?
Nothing major surprised. I think, to be honest, this GeoWeek's been the best one that there's been in years. It's been a little more cohesive environment. Everybody are a little more upbeat. Last year there was some rumblings in the market of like what does the economy look like and what's going to go on, and I think right now there's still some concerns about that, but people have learned to navigate that and realize that diversifying their applications and what they're doing with things is the best way to move forward. And I think the mass data collection and then the next challenge is going to be bringing all that data together and offering it to the people that need it. So I'm excited. We've got some definitely exciting things coming this year, some new software that's going to be coming out that's going to streamline it. I know you guys are working on some stuff, and I'm pretty excited about some stuff that's not necessarily here at GeoWeek, but it'll be coming pretty soon.
Great. Well, it's good to see you as always.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for stopping by.